For me, as I was looking at people who drove beautiful cars and lived in beautiful homes and flew first class, as I was asking, what do they do that they can live with that? What if I could work less and earn more? Hi, I'm Stacey Berger, transformational coach in life and business, supporting entrepreneurs in accelerating their results and achieving full spectrum success. There's a science to generating more wealth, and when you understand the science behind money, it can be helpful to increase your financial freedom. I used to look at people who drove nice cars, lived in beautiful homes, flew first class, and I would ask the question, what do they do that they can afford that? I used to think that somebody's career or job description was the reason they had wealth. And after studying transformational principles for over 15 years now, I now understand that it's not about your vocation, it's about your mindset. As I was asking, what do they do that they can live with that? As I'm noticing that's a scarcity thought. I'm thinking that I have to be a certain person or have a certain career in order to produce that result. As I'm noticing that thinking, I start to interrupt that and I asked a new question. And the new question is, what are they thinking that allows them to have that type of abundance? What do they think about money? How do they show up with their finances? And so as we have the awareness when we're in scarcity thinking or limited thinking, we then interrupt that and start asking new questions. What's a different question I can ask here? What if I did believe that I deserved wealth? What if I could work less and earn more? In order to help you install a new wealth mindset, we've created a money masterclass. So get registered for that. Watch that masterclass in order to really accelerate your financial results. If you're ready to increase your income, increase your financial abundance, it's important to understand the science of generating more wealth. And that really starts with your money story. Every one of us, we have a money story, beliefs that we were brought up with. Your parents talked about money or didn't talk about money. You were raised maybe in your culture, in your religion, with impactful events in your life, what you learned from society, watching people in your life. All of that generated within you, usually subconsciously, a belief and a story about money. And even if you have great financial abundance, you still have a money story. So if you start to think about, what is my money story? What do I believe about money? What do I think about money? Is it money doesn't grow on trees? There's never enough. Maybe you have a feast or famine money mindset. Maybe you have the thinking that I have to work harder in order to deserve more wealth. These are all examples of money stories, money beliefs that ultimately are reflected back in our wealth and our financial freedom. There are 5 really common scarcity thinkings that we can have when it comes to money. The first one that's most common is the lack thinking, that there's never enough. And so this looks like I can't afford it, I don't have enough money. It really feels like you're constantly paycheck to paycheck. You're wondering, how am I going to pay my bills this month? How are we going to afford to go on that vacation? It's this thinking that there is never enough. And as long as my thinking is there's not enough, that will continue to be your experience. The second scarcity thinking is zero-sum thinking, which means that if you build greater wealth, it's going to come out of a limited pie and maybe somebody else is going to have to suffer. It's this idea that there's not enough to go around. So there's only so much of the pie. You have to take your fair share, or you don't want to take too much and somebody else will suffer because you're generating more wealth. This can be reinforced if you look at wealthy people that you know or that you see on social media, and to feel like they're somehow greedy or they took from other people. And yes, there's some cases where that may be true, but it's not necessarily a truth of money and doesn't have to be your truth. So zero-sum thinking is that second scarcity mindset. The third scarcity thinking is this hard work equals wealth myth. And this is one that I definitely subscribe to, that the only way to build your wealth, the only way to make more income, the only way to get ahead is you have to work longer, harder, faster. This gets reinforced in the hustle culture that we hear of so much. I got to push harder where life is a struggle. And so the only way I can get ahead is I have to put more effort in. That thinking really creates a feeling of scarcity within us, because oftentimes within that means that I'm going to have to lose out on freedom, on family time, on the other things that are important to me. So that work longer, work harder, work faster is a really common scarcity mindset. The fourth scarcity thinking is around worthiness. And this is a false belief that somehow you don't deserve to be wealthy, that people like me don't get rich, people like me don't have opportunities, people like me can't have that kind of results. And so there's this limiting self-identity around worthiness, what you're capable of, what you deserve. Start noticing within yourself where you don't feel worthy of creating the type of wealth and money that you really desire. So that sense of worthiness can be a real limiter to attracting wealth in your life. The fifth scarcity thinking that can get in the way of us creating greater wealth is around survival. This can be short-term or long-term. And so what this often looks like is we're scared to spend money, we're scared to invest our money because we feel like we're risking our security, we're putting our families at risk, that what if we lose it? And so we have to hang on to everything in order to protect ourselves. Which one of those resonates most with you? And chances are you have one or two or three or maybe all five of them that you can start to identify in your life. What do we do with them? Just because we have that thinking doesn't mean that we're stuck there. The good news is we can change it. And it really starts with awareness. It starts by noticing, what is my money story? What do I think about money? And the truth is, if you want greater freedom financially, you want more wealth, the same thinking that created your current results is not what's going to create those new results. And this is where the science comes in, because as we begin to have new thoughts and we think differently around money, we rewire our brains and we create new neural pathways, which creates new belief systems, which creates new ideas, it creates new actions, and therefore new results. And this is why I've seen client after client double their income working less hours, attract new dream homes and cars and vacations, and now they're flying first class because they changed their thinking around money. And so what's your money story? We all have one. Is it creating the results that you want? And if not, start to change the thinking that you have around money and you'll start to see new results. In order to help you install a new wealth mindset, we've created a money masterclass. So get registered for that. Watch that masterclass in order to really accelerate your financial results. I'm Stacey Berger. Here is to you living a life that you love.